while, I decided to do my weekly Fibro edition, just lying on the sofa like this. Just want to chat to you about a couple of things. The first one is about something that we should all make a priority in our life, and that is spreading awareness. And the reason I say this is because a lot of people don't know what fibro is. And I was one of those people until I met my friend Sue, and she was talking to me and asked me what my symptoms were, and then she said, that sounds very like what I've got, and I have fibromyalgia. So it went from there, and obviously, as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I went to the doctors after that and said to them, look, is there any chance that this is what's wrong with me? Turns out, yes, that is one of the things wrong with me, along with the arthritis, the chronic fatigue syndrome, and I mean, my underactive thyroid has a lot to play in that, as well as my PCOS. I do have to get checked again for both diabetes and lupus. I'm not really sure why. It may change, or there's something to do with the levels in your blood. I am not entirely sure. I just go with what they say. So anyway, the reason I think we should all play a part in raising awareness is because we're the ones that knows what it's like. It is okay for doctors and charities to post things, but you and I are the people that know what it feels like, know what it is to live a day in that sort of life. This is the reason that I wanted to start my channel, and obviously now I have two channels. I have this one, my main channel, and I also have my daily vlogging channel. And if you haven't checked that out, I'll post a comment below with a link to my vlogging channel. In fact, I'll post it up here. Just the link as well. It is just youtube.com/the Lyndsey Milligan. And that's the channel that I've started doing my daily vlogs on. And I wanted to do those because I wanted people to see what it's like day after day, rather than just posting videos each week, talking about different bits and pieces, because I'm still going to do these videos every week, taking on different topics and discussing them. But I want people to see what it's like actually having all these conditions combined. Obviously each person who has fibro or lupus or ME or MS or anything, arthritis, all of those included, we all have different bits and bobs thrown in. I don't know any one of us who has fibro that doesn't have anything else wrong with them, and the same with lupus. And you know, there's generally a couple of factors in there, and they all combine to cause whatever symptoms and however debilitating our lives are. So I want to get the word out there. I want more and more people to see my videos. I want to share this with them. And I find that there's a lot of people in the world who still don't know enough about it to understand their friends and their family. I've just been chatting to a friend of mine, and I'm not going to mention any names, but she probably will be watching this video, and it's really saddening for me to hear that she has had a friend who was a very, very close friend to her, and they were both there for each other, or so she thought. But the friend has now totally done a 180 and is being so horrible to her, telling her that she lives in a fantasy land. Basically it's all in her head, and that she's a horrible person and people don't like her, and she needs to be around somebody who's not depressive, can't be friends with her. And it makes me really sad to see that, and to hear how upset my friend is about it as well, because she is a beautiful person, really, really lovely hearted person. And you know, doesn't deserve to be treated like that. She deserves to have friends around her who will stand by her, who will support her, who will love her regardless of how sick she is, or, you know, how depressed she gets with it. Because let's face it, it is not surprising that we get depressed with the conditions that we have, because I mean, I defy anybody to go through what we do and not have a depression issue. So it's people like that that need to learn more, and although all we can do is put the information out there, we can't force feed people. But unless we do try and get the word out there, people aren't going to know. So I'm kind of challenging you guys. I do apologise, my friend is messaging me. Anyway, I'm kind of challenging you this week to do something different, to post a few different things on your Facebook page, or share videos from YouTube. Doesn't have to just be mine. As much as I love seeing people actually sharing my videos, and I would love that, I want more and more people to see my videos. I want more and more people to see my vlogging channel as well. But even if it's not my videos that you want to share, please share somebody's videos, somebody's pictures with information about your conditions and things like that. Do something different this week to share information. I know a couple of people who don't actually talk about their conditions to their family because they don't think they'll believe them, they don't think they'll understand. And I mean, I find that really sad, because if you don't try and educate them, they're never going to understand, they're never going to be there for you. So why bottle it up? Give them the chance. If they don't believe you, well, fair enough. But you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to your family as well, to be honest with them and upfront, because, you know, it's not easy for us. It's not easy for anybody else around us either, to cope with what we're going through. But how do we expect them to cope if we're not honest with them and tell them what's going on and give them the opportunity to learn? I'm actually in the process of writing a letter, and I'm going to send it to a couple of magazines and hope that they will post, and hope that they will put it in an issue of their magazine, so that there's people out there that can actually learn a wee bit more by reading this. So, I mean, I'm going to send it to, I think I might send it to a couple of US magazines as well as UK magazines. And the reason I want to do that is I'm going to choose the ones that are quite popular, because I think the likes of the women's magazines, and even some of the ones that are sort of for your late teens upwards, like Cosmo, Glamour and things like that, I am sort of thinking about sending it to those magazines as well, just to see what we can actually do. I have a friend who's actually, she's talking about contacting TV channels to see if they will consider doing documentaries on it. I mean, I'll be honest, I would love to be part of a documentary to do with living with these conditions, because I would love to just help educate people. I mean, I've always been of the opinion that these things are given to us for a reason, and although we don't know what the reason is right now, eventually we will, and whether that's in this life or the next, you know, we have to have faith that it is for a reason that we've got this. And I do wholeheartedly have 100% faith that the reason I have this is so that I can use it to share with everybody else, so that I can try and educate people, and not even just educating people, but be there for others who are like me and who are suffering so much and need somebody who understands them, who's going to love them and is going to support them no matter what. And that's what I'm here for. And I love each and every person that I have become friends with on here. I mean, some people, I mean, I have a friend, my lovely Hannah, who apparently we've only known each other over a week, but it feels like a lifetime already. I feel so close to her. She is such a beautiful hearted girl, and I enjoy every single day chatting away to her. A lot of the time we get chatting during the night when we're both awake with pain, and it's things like that that we can be there for each other. And she's been a good support for me whenever I'm on my own and lonely, and vice versa. I've done my best to be there for her whenever she needs to chat, and that's what I want to be for all of my friends, including the friend that I was telling you about who's been messaging me there. I want to be there to help her, and I wish I could take the heartache and the pain away that she's going through from what her friend has done. And that brings me to another topic. I really want to... We end up having some trust issues. I find anyway, and I know a few other people do as well, whenever you've got friends, because we have those friends who have turned their backs on us because they can't cope with it, because dealing with our illnesses is not easy for them either. And I get that. It's not easy for other people to cope with, the constant cancellations of not just appointments, but meeting up for whatever, lunch, coffee, going out here, there, or anywhere, But if they were real, true friends, they would stand by you and they would understand each and every time that you're doing it. So just be careful, and whenever people are horrible to you about it, just remember that you're going to have people around you that do love you and do support you, and even if they're not there right now, get yourself onto groups. I talk about this all the time. Get yourself onto, not even just mine, there's other groups out there as well, but support groups on Facebook and stuff where you can go and you can meet new people. And I know some of the girls and the guys as well in my groups have chatted to each other in there, and some of them, like I've formed close bonds with some of the girls. There's others who have formed close bonds with others, and everybody has somebody that they can talk to. And I have a sign in my bedroom, in my office rather, for it was a wee special thing that I printed off for my friends Lisa and Sharon, and it's side by side or miles apart, best friends are always close to your heart. And it's so true. Even though every single girl that I have actually spoken to through YouTube and through Facebook, there's only that one friend who is actually in Northern Ireland, and that's my lovely Joanne. She's in Northern Ireland, and she's not even that close to me. I would love to get to meet up with her, and I would love to get to meet up with the other girls as well, but they're scattered everywhere. Some of them are in mainland UK, some of them are in America, as far as Australia, but they're never far from my heart. And I know the same goes for you guys who, are my friends. I know I'm always in your heart, and it's the same for anybody else that you're close to through these groups and stuff. Even though you're not together, you feel very, very close to each other. My friends, especially Sharon and Renee, I've been calling them my sisters for quite a while now, and I feel like I'm gaining more sisters, my warrior sisters. But there's my lovely Sharon and Lisa. And when they're hurting, I'm hurting, and I absolutely adore them. I don't get to chat to them as much as I used to at the moment, and I'm always worrying about them, and they're always in my prayers, they're always on my heart. And I find that it's times like this here when we need to really make the right judgment call whenever we're making friends, and it's not always easy, and we're not always going to make the right decisions, but we do have to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try again. Don't let that trust go out the window totally, but do be careful. Be careful who you're becoming friends with, in your everyday life, you know, the people who are around you physically, because if you start leaning on them and they're not built in a way that they can cope with it, it's all going to come crumbling down and you're going to get hurt again. So make sure that before you start leaning on them, that they're a strong person, or if they're not totally strong, that they can talk to you and don't hold things back as well, because if they hold things back, then it's going to be totally one-sided and it's not going to work out. I know I kind of ramble, and I hope this hasn't been too confusing or anything. I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say about whenever you're making friends, and you know, don't totally rely on the wrong type of people, but don't push people away. You know, do rely on people. Does that make sense? I don't know whether I'm totally messing this up or not. You know what my brain's like at this time of the day. Just choose wisely, but still choose. You know, find friends, rely on people, love people, bring people into your life. Don't lose all hope in that, but just make sure that you're relying on people that can rely on you. Anyway, guys, I've really rambled, and I don't want to keep on going because I don't want this to be a massive video. So I'm going to head on. I hope this hasn't been too much of a ramble. But I will see you tomorrow with my next vlog. Love you all so much. Mwah.